I said no, but what they did next, I couldn't stop. This is not a normal affair story. This is about the longing for abandonment and the moment I chose emotion over morality. Welcome to the realm of emotional love stories. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, share your insights in the comments, and subscribe to keep up with our newest narratives. May you find joy in tranquil, soothing moments. My sincere gratitude to you. Now, let us set forth on the adventure that awaits within the tale. I am Emily, and this narrative commenced not with a fleeting look or a tender kiss. It all started with a bottle of wine that had an unusual taste, accompanied by the silence of an empty kitchen, where unexpressed emotions hung heavily in the atmosphere. At 36, I am traversing the intricate pathways of existence, yearning for a connection that runs deeper. A decade ago, I married to a man whose attention has long since strayed from my presence. At this juncture, I am enveloped in a whirlwind of emotions, each one resonating profoundly, yet I remain silent, cherishing the quietude of unvoiced realities. His steadfast presence kindles a flame within me, revealing a gentleness that awakens something profound inside. He envisions my role within his ambitions, intricately intertwining me with his dreams. However, this connection fades against the overwhelming depth of love. For what feels like an eternity, no one has managed to awaken my spirit, neither through their expressions nor their deeds. Ethan, my partner's brother, stands in sharp contrast to my husband. At 29, he navigates life in solitude, dedicating little time to work while reveling in moments brimming with joy and laughter. He has always been characterized by his chaotic spirit, a sense of reckless abandon, and an irresistible charm that captivates those around him. Every encounter with him turns my surroundings into a vibrant whirlwind, where laughter flutters like butterflies and stories intertwine, creating a rich fabric of yearning. Occasionally, it ignites a profound desire within me, while at other moments, it brings forth reminiscences of an era when I felt deeply intertwined with something larger than myself. Just last Friday, he orchestrated an intimate gathering with his friends at our residence, with my husband's approval. As is his custom, my husband retreated to the realm of dreams early in the evening. While I busied myself in the kitchen, his soft laughter drifted from the living room, awakening a profound longing within me. He yearned for connection, yet, true to his nature, he chose to linger in the shadows. As the clock struck midnight, I dimmed the lights, gathered my hair, and prepared to clear away the remnants of the evening. I found myself draped in a familiar garment, one that embraced me in the solitude of my own space, blending into the background, unassuming and spontaneous. In this quietude, I am enveloped in a profound sense of longing. I advanced, enveloped in the present, unaware of the way ahead or the beckoning presence that hung in the atmosphere. Suddenly, they emerged at the kitchen's entrance, igniting something profound within me. 3 spirited friends of Marco, their glasses almost empty, emanated a vibrant energy, invigorated by the enchanting charm of the night. One of them, if memory serves, was called Mark. I found him looking at me with an intensity that seemed to pierce through to the very core of my existence. I looked back, not merely seeing her as the partner of a friend, but as if he had stumbled upon a truth, something I had never known I longed to discover. "Pardon me, have we caused you any discomfort?" he inquired, a subtle smile dancing at the edges of his mouth, as though he were suspended between desire and self-control. I replied, a flicker of doubt in my voice, torn between the desire to grin and the facade of annoyance. The remaining two reveled in the wine. Mark remained still, ensnared in a fleeting instant that throbbed with unvoiced desire. His eyes held mine, weighted with a silent desire. I tried to maintain an air of normalcy, but a deep unease within me betrayed the facade, hinting at something far from ordinary. Little did I know the profound layers hidden beneath my preconceived notions of you. He expressed himself openly, liberated from the constraints of repercussions. I turned away, pretending not to hear the murmurs that pulled at my soul. Yet my trembling hands revealed my inner turmoil in the most unforeseen manner. A drop of wine kissed my cheek, awakening a profound sensation within. "Permit me to offer my help," he whispered, inching closer. Being near her was akin to entering a realm brimming with unvoiced desires and concealed realities. This journey is solely mine, not his. The laughter resonated around me, yet I felt adrift in a fog, unable to seize the humor that fluttered just beyond my grasp. They reveled in joyous laughter, a moment steeped in unexpressed yearning. Mark's gaze was fixed on me, his aura wrapping around me as his alluring fragrance approached. The murmurs of timber, the aroma of smoldering embers, painted a picture of reminiscence. Friends, we might already be treading into uncharted territory. He decided to turn away, as one of his companions noted, sensing the electric tension in the air. Mark hesitated, ensnared in a moment that was both thrilling and taboo. His eyes held mine, imbued with a fervor that awakened something profound within me. In that moment, he retreated, an unvoiced tension hanging in the atmosphere, creating a silence that resonated with unquenched desire. Yet, an unforeseen twist emerged. He recoiled from the external world, turning inward. My heart raced as I climbed the stairs, each step resonating with the excitement of what awaited me. In the soft glow of the room, my husband rested peacefully, his back to me, leaving an air of unvoiced desire. In the stillness, I changed my clothes without glancing in the mirror, weighed down by unarticulated questions. What he experienced transcended his grasp. It was an intricate tapestry of emotions, elusive in definition. Surrender to the essence of deep fulfillment. A mere glance sparked the excitement of his proximity, stemming from a fleeting moment of oversight. In the dim light of that night, a delicate crack widened, exposing desires that had been buried for far too long. The next day, the kitchen emerged as a realm of fresh organization. It seemed as if the past bore no weight whatsoever, yet within me stirred an unshakable conviction. No visible substance, nothing concrete. Yet, a profound transformation had stirred within me, like an unexpected flame igniting a hidden space, illuminating the shadows of longing. In the corridor, I unexpectedly encountered Ethan, who expressed his gratitude for my role in bringing the meeting to life. He wrapped me in a gentle embrace, oblivious to the fragility of his reality, which could crumble with a single truth laid bare. Mark reclined on the sofa, adrift in a sea of unexpressed desires. In the midst of the laughter, he disclosed that this individual is forever in flux. I plunged into the realm of literature. As the words enveloped me, a tension seized my stomach, awakening something profound within. In a surprising instant, a soothing wave cascaded over me, as though his name had slipped from my mind since the previous night. As the first light of dawn crept in, the friends began to disperse, each leaving behind a whisper of unexpressed yearning. I had always hesitated to delve into the depths. Meeting him was the last thing I wished for. Perhaps it was simply destined to be so. The decision of what to wear hung in the atmosphere, thick with unvoiced desires. Yet, in the end, it turned out to be in vain. As I made my way down to brew a cup of tea, I encountered it in the kitchen, a moment that awakened something profound within me. Just as he relished a sip of his coffee, a flicker ignited within him, and he welcomed Emily with a warmth that suggested unvoiced desires. I extended a chilly welcome, masking the chaos swirling inside. "Did you discover comfort in the arms of slumber last night?" With a knowing grin, he disclosed that it was the sole option that resonated. Perhaps I allowed my emotions to roam free last night. An oppressive stillness enveloped the air. Have I unveiled a sentiment that has awakened something deep within you? With his gaze locked on the cup, he summoned the courage to articulate the unvoiced desire. "Would it linger in your thoughts to have ventured beyond that boundary?" I replied. He looked at me with those vibrant, intense, and captivating eyes. He remained in the quiet, a storm of unexpressed desires churning inside him. It would carry deep meaning for me. In that fleeting moment, an overwhelming sense of yearning enveloped me. It transcended mere desire, a delicate interplay of unvoiced emotions and concealed realities. Beneath the surface of laughter lay a profound truth, a moment thick with unexpressed yearning. That was unmistakably genuine. It was an emotion I had also experienced, one he hinted at now, though he refrained from expressing it explicitly. I feigned a search in the pantry, my heart pounding with unvoiced desire. Nothing transpired, Mark. He conveyed his understanding through those words, heavy with unexpressed yearning. Still, the intangible carries a weight that resonates profoundly. The warmth cascaded down my throat, igniting a forbidden thrill within. I tried to end the conversation, but he inched closer. It was not yet my time to surrender to the yearning that simmered inside me. He moved with an air of perfection, shielded from the taint of misdeeds. His words fell softly, reserved for the sacred space of closeness. If you were to find yourself in another realm at a different time, would your affections for me waver? I observed the scene unfold, my heart a storm of anger, desire, and apprehension. I held my tongue. It seemed completely out of reach. A bittersweet smile played upon his lips, suggesting the profound yearning concealed just beneath the surface. He unveiled his deepest emotions and then vanished, leaving behind an echo of unfulfilled desire. The day progressed, steeped in a haunting sense of déjà vu. While the surface seemed perfect, the reality lingered in the darkness, murmuring tales of yearning and unexpressed wishes. It was not I who stirred the storm within. My thoughts swirled in a chaotic dance of yearning. His age held no sway over the depths of my feelings. I had lost touch with the feeling of being irresistibly attracted to something so fleeting. Yet here I was, facing a strange yearning. The moment was approaching, the thrill beckoning me again. The certainty of remaining aware lingered in the air. To embrace the exhilarating thrill of connection, to revel in the beauty of fleeting glances and unspoken yearnings, unburdened by the weight of obligation or the chains of attachment. That night I slipped into a black dress, feeling the weight of unspoken longings envelop me, unchanged by anyone, only for my heart to embrace. Upon hearing the news, my husband, as he often does, retreated to his rest. I descended into the evening, seeking solace in a glass of wine, each sip a gentle murmur of desire and unvoiced aspirations, a chasm brimming with silent cravings. Every thought enveloped him, a tempest of yearning and unexpressed hopes. In that fleeting moment, the subtle creak of the door resonated through the stillness, awakening something profound within me. I lose myself in the realm of literature. Again, I embark on the quest for my wallet. With a quiet intensity, he revealed, "I have a feeling it might be waiting for me in the kitchen." As I departed, I left behind a glass, my thoughts drifting away from the moment we shared. This morning, I placed it at the threshold, a silent offering to the unspoken yearnings that linger in the shadows. He approached with a calm exterior, but beneath it all, a storm of desire raged inside him. "Today, I see you in a way that awakens something profound within me." My situation, however, remains unchanged. I articulated a truth that was, in fact, untrue. Do you genuinely hold this belief? The way he expressed it, the stirring depiction, the nuance. Each exchange seemed like an enticing challenge veiled in courteous gestures. A tangible tension enveloped me, leaving me both perplexed and craving clarity. I opted to cross my arms firmly, a symbol of rebellion and desire intertwined. This sensation is so misplaced, yet so fitting. Yet it stands before us. We lingered in that space, silence wrapping around us like a hidden desire. It lies just beyond our grasp. I suppressed a shiver that was not born of fear. It was a yearning. In that brief moment, before unveiling my true emotions, I climbed the stairs, my heart pounding with unexpressed desire. As I confronted the now, a profound, yearning breath resonated within me, cloaked in shadows. He opted not to delve deeper. His voice floated like a gentle whisper, barely escaping his lips. "Do not retreat into silence completely." I made certain the door to my refuge was securely closed, softly, denying entry. In the quiet embrace of the night, I found myself contemplating the concealed recesses of my soul, which had unexpectedly awakened. The evening was steeped in a restless unease. Perhaps I became entranced by the dancing glow of the candle, its light flickering through the hours. Within the confines of my room, the atmosphere was laden with unvoiced musings, each thought pressing heavily against the air. I reclined, my eyes tracing the contours of the ceiling, relishing the tranquility that surrounded me, a silence rich with yearning. Doubt hung palpably as I contemplated whether Mark was still on the ground floor. In the midst of a tempest of doubt, I pondered the reality of his absence. I wrestled with the motives behind his departure. As the dawn broke in silence, I awoke at 3, compelled by a yearning that murmured tales of desire while I sought a simple glass of water. I meandered through the dimness, my soles brushing against the chill of the floor, welcoming the profound stillness of the darkened room. I halted in the kitchen, ensnared in a fleeting moment of contemplation. The glass quivered in my hand, mirroring the chaos that stirred inside me. In that fleeting instant, he emerged, igniting a spark that awakened something profound within me. In the dim light, occupying the same seat as before, a familiar tension hung in the air. Mark's presence had stirred something deep within him when our paths first intertwined. Silence wrapped around us, thick with unvoiced desire. His eyes locked onto mine, kindling a fire deep inside. I too opted for silence. I had only taken a brief respite. I filled my glass, its surface glinting with the allure of something beyond mere hydration. Finally, in a soft murmur, he disclosed that he had been there the entire time. A tide of comprehension enveloped me, and I found myself nodding in quiet recognition. It seemed completely beyond my reach. What ignites this yearning within? I couldn't simply turn away without discovering if you shared my sentiments. I watched as the moment unfolded before me. My grip on the glass was firm, a conscious decision to forgo any drink. What if we embrace? I spoke from the depths of my heart. In that moment, I choose to remain. Avoiding overly dramatic expressions, an undeniable truth lingers in the atmosphere, revealing the depths of one's soul while accepting every shadow and light that exists within. I whispered gently to myself that this was a moment that transcended all logic. It was fueled more by my own yearning for comfort than for his benefit. Yet here it lies before us. He presses on, undeterred, as our eyes flutter shut in surrender. He remains silent, a tempest of unvoiced emotions swirling within him. His gaze lingers on me, weighted with unexpressed yearning. He underscored that his aim was never to disrupt Emily's life. I have come only to seize a moment that I cannot allow to fade. In that brief moment, a deep realization enveloped me. It was not Mark who ventured into the abyss of desire and temptation. I was the one who lingered there, burdened by the weight of unvoiced yearning. It was my decision, my desire, the burden of the years spent in quietude, stripped of desire, confined to the existence of a dutiful wife, weighed upon me like a sodden shroud. He represented that cherished refuge where, if only for a fleeting moment, I could grasp the very core of my femininity. Silence surrounded us, thick with the weight of unvoiced realities. The action was unnecessary to follow through. He stood up from the chair, a wave of yearning washing over him. I remained motionless, caught in the moment. The space that separated us was slight, yet the silence resonated with unvoiced truths and concealed desires. There was a lack of passionate commitment and no hasty gestures to reveal buried yearnings. A change within me awakened, an unarticulated metamorphosis that hung in the atmosphere despite the absence of any concrete occurrence. Although the tangible bond many had hoped for never materialized, a silent comprehension flourished between us, rich and meaningful, a brief instance of intense connection. In the silence that ensued, he left, enveloped in unvoiced sentiments. He softly slid the chair back, a subtle echo of his enduring presence. I found myself suspended in that moment. It is time to rise from the shadows of desire. Embrace the very core of being, responsible for the events that unfold, free from constraints, caught in a tempest of concurrent endeavors. The next day, Ethan welcomed me with his usual warmth. Earlier in the week, my husband had expressed his reflections on the meeting. As I indicated my agreement with slight gestures and set about making the first meal of the day, an unsettling feeling of disconnection enveloped me, as though a fragment of my essence had quietly drifted away. It does not emerge from a well of contempt. It is not an issue of treachery. It was not simply the feeling of being observed, but rather the deep understanding that, after an eternity, I genuinely felt acknowledged. Connecting with my husband's sister proves to be a challenge. The wife, untouched by the allure of food, embodies the very essence of femininity. Meanwhile, Mark lingers in the shadows, absent and unwilling to face the remnants of what once was. Yet, the way he gazes at me, the words he chooses, the haunting recollection of that evening lingers in my heart. They lingered in that forbidden space. As time flowed on, the familiar patterns of life resumed, yet beneath the surface, a stirring of unspoken longings began to awaken, at least in what is revealed. My husband has slipped back into his old ways. On the weekends, Ethan sparked a tempest of joy and chaos, awakening feelings I thought were long forgotten, while I remained steadfast in my dedication to my work, my routines, my rituals. However, a deep transformation had begun to take hold within me. It was not the tidal wave of affection that swept over me. It did not stem from a feeling of regret. It was not merely for that reason. It was an opportunity to genuinely embrace life, free from any limitations or approvals. Destiny has prevented me from encountering Mark again. Ethan overlooked that vital aspect. I opted for silence, knowing we both recognized that in a story such as ours, it was the only agreement we could reach. One weekend, while I was absorbed in the ordinary chore of washing the glasses in the kitchen, Ethan materialized, his smile kindling a flicker of something unforeseen. Mark was entranced by the enigma that surrounded you. He laid bare his emotions, unfiltered and sincere. Is this truly happening? I pretended to be taken aback. He observed that he felt a change within you. What did your heart convey in that brief moment? What was hidden beneath the facade of reality? The discovery left me completely astonished. Ethan had inadvertently exposed a profoundly personal truth, one that ignited a tempest of feelings within him. To share a kiss is not a prerequisite for bestowing a fragment of oneself that is unmatched and profoundly treasured by another. Time ebbed and flowed, each day merging seamlessly into the next, each month a soft murmur of desire. The house endured, a quiet observer of the reverberations of yearning and the unvoiced realities that resided within its confines. Similarly, my bond with Moss remained shrouded in a veil of unawareness. Perhaps there lies a deep connection, an unvoiced comprehension that lovers nurture as their journeys merge through time. Occasionally, he observed me from a distance, as if wrestling with a change that had unfolded within him. Throughout my own journey, this distance transformed into a pathway for him to explore the depths of his emotions. I have consistently remained in the shadows, anticipating the moment to step into the light. I have never openly betrayed his trust. In that fleeting instant, a piece of my soul slipped into the abyss. And he never returned. Not for Mark, I implore. It was through him that I discovered the hidden emotions nestled deep within me, long shrouded by the echoes of the past. I resolved to protect that truth fiercely, keeping it locked away in the recesses of my heart. As I return to the kitchen, a thick silence wraps around me, and the ghostly image of that chair sliding away haunts my mind. In the gentle embrace of twilight, a vessel brimming with liquid, concealing profound depths of feeling. The silent inquiry, would it withstand the tides of change? The answer, forever unvoiced, hovered in the recesses of my heart, a yearning that went unrecognized. In certain instances, the unexpressed and the invisible echo with greater intensity than any tangible bond, etching a lasting impression on the soul. Life presents us with instances where silence conveys a wealth of meaning, concealed from the gaze of the world. The explanation lacks the desired clarity. Still, they persist. Though concealed from the world's view, they profoundly transform our self-perception, awakening intense feelings within us. Sometimes, the most profound injuries remain concealed, residing within the heart and soul. It is a crack that runs deep within the heart, a lingering look that conveys so much, a persistent murmur that resonates within the core of the soul. A portal left slightly open, suspended in a fleeting instant of doubt. The palpable tension in the atmosphere raises the question of whether you were deceived or if you have simply stirred a dormant desire. What are your thoughts on this? Infidelity frequently arises from a captivating temptation or a persistent feeling nestled in the heart. I encourage you to express your views in the comments below. Your experiences could spark passion and evoke profound emotions in others. If this story touched your heart, I invite you to become part of our community by subscribing to the channel, activating notifications, and sharing this video with those who may find comfort in its depths. In this space, each narrative vibrates with its own secret charm. Every individual carries a story, eager to be revealed in the quiet corners of desire. Until we cross paths once more, your essence imbues this place with an unmistakable fervor.